Hey YouTube, this is Cami Froglegs, and I am making a video response to a question I got. I felt like, again, a response via video will be a lot easier and a lot less convoluted than trying to type it out. And this time I will actually disclose this person's name. This person's name is Alex, or at least that's what the name is on the question. She asked if the ease of moving up as an MC and how deployments work. My own personal opinion, pretty much moving up to third when I got advanced to third class was pretty much wide open. It was almost 100%, if not 100% for my rate. Not every rate is like that, and not every time that they have the third class exam it's going to be 100%. It's, again, based on the needs of the Navy. If you have a lot of spaces open for third class, a lot of billets that need to be filled for third class, then they'll have a lot of openings open for third class. And so then a lot of the seamen will be able to take the advancement exam and actually get advanced to third class. I think last year or the year before, from what I've heard around town, so to speak, that our advancement rate was actually pretty high, going all the way up to chief. And then someone else made a comment saying, later, like this year, it wasn't that case. Nobody in the MC rate went from MC2 to MC1. So no one made first class this time around in November. So it just depends on what's going on. If they have a lot of MC1s, or they don't have a lot of billets for MC1, or they don't have a lot of billets for MC2, or anything of that nature, then you're less likely to get advanced. It just depends on what's open at that time when you're taking the exam. If you do really, 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 really well, you have a really good evaluation, you've done a lot of things in the community, you've been submitted for rewards, you've done things and people know who you are, and you have a really good score as far as the advancement goes, and they only have 2 openings, you're very likely to get one of those 2 openings. If you are, for lack of a better term, a really shitty sailor, and a really shitty MC, and there's only like a handful of openings, you're going to be hard pressed to get those billets because you're at the bottom. So you want to strive to be at the top of your game all the time, because you never know what's going to go on as far as the availability of spots in in your rate. And that doesn't go just for MCs, that goes for all rates, because there are some rates where it's just completely saturated. HMs, hospital corpsmen, their rate is actually really, really saturated almost all the time. But then sometimes it clears up and people actually advance. And the same thing with BMs. Sometimes it's really, really saturated. So it just depends on what the Navy needs at that time. If you have a lot of people retiring, a lot of people getting kicked out, you just have to kind of get a feel for what's going on. I am not an expert. I am not a classifier. I'm not a detailer. I am just a regular Joe Schmo sailor. So please don't go running to anybody, any recruiter, and say, Cami Froglegs said, okay, because I'm giving you my own personal opinion, my own personal observation, and talking to other sailors, MC or not. The other half of her question was deployments. Speaking from an MC and watching people in my class and other classes graduate and how their process started, there are several different types of ways to be attached to a unit. Some MCs are attached to what's called an NPACE, and that is a unit where you have a bunch of MCs together, and then they're temporarily assigned to a ship, and if that ship goes out to sea, then they go with it. And they can be flip-flopped all over the place. So when that ship comes back in and they need to be somewhere else, then they'll be assigned to another ship temporarily. So your main unit is the MPACE, and you're just sent out wherever you need to go based on the needs of that MPACE. You have some MCs who actually are just assigned to a ship, and they go where that ship goes. They're attached to that ship. That's their job. They do all the MC work with that ship. You have some who are assigned to broadcast billets, so they're assigned to a base that has a billet. I know a friend of mine, she was assigned to Diego Garcia, which is a base. There's only like 3 MCs on that island anyway. So it just depends on where you choose to go. You can get assigned as an individual to a ship where there are other MCs on that ship and you work in a shop. You can be assigned to an MPACE, which is a group of MCs who don't necessarily deploy as a unit. They can still send you and a couple other people out to the same ship to work in a shop with other MCs. So it just depends on what you go. I hope that makes sense. So me as a reservist, I was assigned to a NOSC, which is a Navy Operational Support Center. And in that NOSC, there were all the different rates in the Navy there. And then once I got to my NOSC, I was assigned to an MC billet. So I go back to DMA, which is Defense Media Activity. Yes, Defense Media Activity, DMA, and back in Fort Meade. So I will be going back to Baltimore. And they're responsible for certain types of media that gets put out from there. So because that's my billet, I am individually assigned to that billet. It is an active duty location, and I am working as a reserve support person. So if there are projects that need to be done and the active duty are going home for the weekend, or things that need to be done, whatever they need me to do, I'm going to go in there and do it. If there's stuff over the weekend that needs to be covered and they need somebody, then that's what I'll do. They've actually sent out some emails in the last couple of weeks about Army games, different types of sporting events, different types of conferences that needed MC coverage. Photographers, journalists, video, they put out, and you would be gone for a week or two on active duty time to cover those events. So it just depends on where you go, what you'll be doing, because you do, like I said, you'll have some that are broadcast only billets for active duty. You'll have some that, when you get to your shop, whether you're the only person in that shop or you're working with other MCs in that shop, there are certain things that you're going to need to do based on what that particular shop needs. Whether you're assigned to a ship, or you're assigned to an MPACE, or you're assigned to a NOSC and being assigned to a reserve billet. So don't think of it, you're just being deployed as an individual. Sometimes you're not. I've seen the pictures on Facebook where there are people who are assigned to MPACE West, and there were 3 or 4 of them all going out at the same time, which to me says they're being deployed as a group to all the same ship. I don't know when, what ship they're going to. They may all be going to 3 different ships that are all deploying at the same time. I have no idea, because I'm not at MPACE West. I am at DMA, and I'm sure there are people who get deployed out of DMA who go to different places as well. So hopefully that helps. If I've made it more confusing, please put it in the comments, and I can clarify some things. I will post another video once I do my DMA training in March. I'll post a video on how that went, because that will be my first flex drill, is what it's called. And I may put a video on how it is to put reschedules and flex drills in there, because I feel like it's really convoluted and awkward. But anyway, if you have any more questions, comments, concerns, or you have a video idea or something you want me to talk about, feel free to put it make a comment and I will get back to you. I know it's taking me a little bit of time to get these responses. I've had a lot of stuff going on. I'm starting a new job tomorrow. I've got my Christmas gifts I'm working on, and they're labor intensive. So I've been kind of busy. And then I had to sew on all my new rank. I still haven't finished sewing them all on. So I just kind of did what I needed for the weekend, because I have quite a bit to do. It's a lot of uniforms. But again, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a good day.